right, welcome everybody. Tact Chat number 15. I'm Dan, your host. I just wanted to get on here and do a quick note on something else that I've noticed out there in the collective. And it's kind of humorous, but it's very important to understand this book right here on liberal arts, the Trivium. The classical liberal arts of grammar, logic, and rhetoric, because those who control the rhetoric usually control, the narrative or control what people think. And there's a lot of contradictory things going on with this pandemic. So I wanted to talk real quick about something that I see is the social engineering of words. For instance, the word conspiracy. Whenever we hear the word conspiracy, we're kind of socially engineered to think of, conspiracy theories, those guys, they're nuts. Conspiracy theories, they're not true. And people want to flippantly dismiss you. Okay, they'll insult your intelligence, not meaning to in many cases, and sometimes they're not trying to actually even dismiss you, so I don't want to make that a blanket statement. But let's understand something, and they do so in a funny kind of way. And they'll do something like they'll flippantly want to dismiss you through some type of ridicule. Silencio. I grew up in Cleveland. Silencio. They want you silent. Okay. Yeah. I got my cat talking to me. What? And my text going off. Yeah, so none of this is changing. I'm not trying to do a perfect podcast here. But what I wanted to say is they do so by going way out there. Like the moon's hollow and there's a base inside of it too, huh? And there's nanotechnology in the vaccines they're giving us so they can track us. And, the earth is flat. There are all these different types of way out there conspiracy theories that probably are coming from wackos. Complete wackos, because those can't be proven at all. What can be proven is that conspiracies actually exist. The definition of the word conspiracy is when two or more people get together, plot, plan, covertly, without the knowledge of others, for self-gain at the detriment of others. That's what a conspiracy is. They actually exist. So they don't want us to know this. Okay, something else that you could look at is all the contradictory bullshit around this pandemic. Anytime there's that much contradictions, there's lies. Okay, what can be proven is squad runs. ALS and BLS have not gone up substantially in the last year. What can be proven is flu's almost non-existent. Flu deaths have gone way down. Why is that? Okay, well, it's because people are wearing masks. All right, okay, that's cool. But I'm confused. If the flu deaths are going down because people are wearing masks, then how is it that the COVID numbers are going up because people aren't wearing masks? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So that's just one of the contradictory things that I think is completely hilarious. And I'm not even really mad or anything, but I just want to set the record straight. I got people I know all over the country in hospitals. Okay, I worked for the government. I worked for a government medical facility. I've worked for other hospitals. I know people that are big shots at hospitals. The ICUs have not been full at all throughout any of this. They're at normal 20 to 30% capacity. 10% capacity in some cases, even in big cities. I get it. They got special COVID units where half the people on those units tested positive, but aren't, they're having respiratory problems that are normal amount of respiratory problems for this year. And I'm not saying COVID hasn't killed people. It's a virus. But it's killed people who would be dying from other viruses. And it hasn't killed anywhere near the number. The numbers have been skewed. The CDC even said that. So did the WOW. When there's that much contradictory information out there, they're lying. When you've got doctors on both sides of the great debate who got credentials, they're all credentialed. They're more credentialed than me, and they're more credentialed than probably most people watching this. And both are saying, or one side's saying, this is complete bullshit. Wearing these masks don't help. These people aren't dying. They got all these contradictory things, and they're being silenced. The side doing the silence, which is the side working for the government, it's probably lying. It's common sense, okay? Something else that could be proven is all over the world. countries all over the world are marching for freedom and protesting their freedoms being taken away. Some of them are peaceful protests. Some of them are out there a little more animated, but there's millions of people protesting all over the world. This isn't just in our country, and this wasn't just about the orange-haired guy and the senile guy. Okay? I can give two shits less about either one of those. I just want to set the record straight. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a person who knows conspiracies exist. Okay? I just want to get that straight, because it's the way people are silenced over this kind of stuff is just, you have to develop a willingness to maybe be wrong. You got to really take a look at your beliefs and understand maybe I was wrong. And something else I want to talk about besides conspiracy real quick, and this is just real quick to throw out there. I probably got 20 minutes tops to run my mouth here. I can't wait till I can have some guests. Is the other word that people take has been totally misconstrued is the word anarchy. Oh my God, it's anarchy. It's chaos. You know, last year during all the riots, anarchists are burning police cars. Anarchists are doing this and doing that. And I turned on the TV. I'm like, well, those ain't anarchists. Those are statists. Those are left and right wing pundits battling each other and destroying shit and victimizing innocent people, and in many cases innocent property. I don't care about public property. Go straight to every city hall in the country if you want to. But private businesses, that's bullshit. That was stupid. You're just letting out stupid stress. I get it. I get you're letting out stress. And insurance can take care of the big companies. That put small ones out of business. That wasn't doing anything. And those weren't anarchists is my main thing. Those were not anarchists. Okay? The word in the word anarchy comes from the Greek prefix "an," meaning without. Okay? And archon means ruler. Okay, so archons. Anarchy means without rulers. It doesn't mean without rules or laws. We follow natural law. True spiritual anarchists are non-violent. I can get really mad. I can have a really heated debate with somebody, but we believe in the non-aggression principle, which means I'll never get aggressive with somebody. I'll never aggress upon somebody. But we also believe in the self-defense principle, which means if I'm aggressed upon, we'll see what happens. But there was not one anarchist involved in any of that stuff. Not one. Those were statists arguing over whose version of rulership and slaveship they wanted. Let's just be completely honest with what that was. Those were state-hired provocateurs in some cases, getting the crowds riled up, and then left and right political pundits fighting and destroying and arguing over whose version, whose ruler they wanted. Those weren't anarchists. Not at all. Those are statists. Or I like to call them assholists. We believe in the non-aggression principle. You know, under natural law, you can't assault. You shouldn't murder. You shouldn't trespass upon someone's property, which includes destroying their property. So, I just wanted to get that out there too. Anarchists have not been involved in nothing yet. And don't let social engineering rule you so much. Develop a willingness to not just parrot what you hear on mainstream news media and do research and actually look at certain things. There's contradictory information out there about this pandemic. There is actual strong evidence that this isn't a pandemic. Strong evidence that it isn't. I'm not saying people aren't getting sick. I'm not saying that the virus isn't legit. I worked in a hospital during the swine flu. I understand things. I'm not a medical professional. I know medical professionals who have told me, boots on the ground, people aren't dropping dead in hospitals. Okay? We got a lot of things being lifted right now, which is great. We live in the best country in the world. I'd like to see the whole world. You know what? I hated this. I hated the slogan "Make America Great Again." I couldn't stand that slogan because it actually, to me, it was offensive. Like America wasn't great all along. How about this one? Make the world great again. Make the world great again. Or, again, Let's just make the world great. Maybe for the first time. Make the world great for the first time. I just want to put that out there because I get into, there's passive aggressive. There's friends who mean well. And you have to understand something. I'm not some wacko, and a lot of people like me are not wackos, but we're not going to be gaslit either. You're not going to change our worldview, and you're not going to change what we see going on in the whole world and what we see not going on in the whole world. Sorry, it's not happening, man. I worked for the government. I know people, and I don't know how many times I have to say it. ICUs ain't full. Neither are COVID wards. It's mind-boggling to me. Last week, I talked a little bit about cognizant dissonance, on what it meant. I talked about Stockholm Syndrome briefly. If you didn't get to see it, go check it out. I normally like to do these things on Thursday. I decided to do it, on Tuesday or on Tears Day. The Norse god of Tyr is the Norse god of war and justice. I'm wearing a tarot card, Justice, right now. So I get into the tarot and other occulted things that I'm learning. And that's another word that's totally completely misconstrued. The word occult, all it comes from is the word occultus or oculary, ocular, the eyeball. Occult, it's hidden from sight. That's all occulted means. Occult is ocular, okay, oculary. That's the Latin noun of the word, okay, and verb of the word. It means hidden. Occulted means hidden. Someone who de-occults something, unhides it, okay? There are de-occultists in this world. There are dark occultists in this world who understand it. There are people who just study the occult. And they're not doing it for any, oogie boogie reasons, okay? There's a lot more to this world than we think. There absolutely 100% is, and there's something big going on, okay? So, if you're somebody who wants to ridicule literally half the world who isn't seeing what you're seeing, and has nothing to do with just this country, before you do so, really take a good look at some things. And if you're willing to be just half wrong, maybe I'm half wrong too. I'm willing to be wrong on everything. I wish I was wrong on everything. Be willing to be half wrong, because if you're even half wrong, it means something pretty serious is going on, fellas, gals, boys and girls, baseball fans, whatever, whatever. Take a real critical look. That's all, man. That's all I'm saying. And more people probably need to speak out, I'm going to die someday anyway. Any spiritually awakened man or person knows that and has come to accept it. That doesn't mean I'm suicidal. I want freedom and I want to live a good life. But I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm seeing, man. And I know what I'm not seeing. And I can't stand seeing my kids wear masks. I can't stand being in the grocery store and everyone wearing masks doesn't even want to make eye contact because they're shamed. That's what these masks do. Although there is this one sweetheart, she makes a point of actually making eye contact with everybody. And her eyes are just big and there's just this real glow behind them and she's like smiling. Her eyes are smiling. And she's saying hi and she won't let you not make eye contact with her, which I think is great. More people need to do that. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. Conspiracies exist. They're not all just theories. I don't believe our moon is the Death Star. I don't believe the Earth is flat. I don't believe we're being injected with nanotechnology, although nanotechnology exists, and so does quantum physics and a bunch of other things that we can't see with the naked eye or understand, including things going on around us. The light spectrum only covers so much, and there's this much we're not seeing. So you have to understand there's things out there that we don't 100% understand yet. We want to call it supernatural. I call it simply natural. It's science not yet discovered. But what is discovered and what is known is that ERs don't have people dropping dead. ICUs have not been and are not now currently filled with people dying from this. They're feeding us a bunch of fear porn. They're constantly trying to keep us vibing low. Man, vibe high, get out and breathe. Man, it's a beautiful day. I worked out today. I'm going to go out and breathe. I'm going to go out and teach a kickboxing class, and then I'm going to get out in nature, man. Get out in nature, have some fun, don't let anybody try and gaslight you, because they're self-gaslighting themselves. Okay? And I mean this with the most sincerity and respect and nothing but love. Peace. Till next time, have a good one.